We are live. Here is JD, Eddie, myself, and our speaker.
We have all heard things about the No Child Left Behind law, but what do we really know about it? Today I'm going to briefly discuss a couple of areas the law was supposed to improve upon, how it has truly impacted our children, and what we can do to improve the law. The law was good in theory, and it was originally designed to help our students. A couple of areas it was supposed to address was how to help our disadvantaged students and how to hold our teachers more accountable in our schools. One group of disadvantaged students is the English as a Second Language, or ESL student. Under the law, there are specific education policies that are supposed to be effect aiming to improve English as a second language students' ability to communicate and their immersion into the English culture. The No Child Left Behind Act has specific provisions in order to lower and eliminate the achievement gap between ESL students and English proficient students. So the real question is, has this law helped? And the answer would be no. The law fails to address specific needs of each ESL student and has actually negatively impacted their progress. As you can see from our graph, English as a second language or English language learners are the dark brown here, who are significantly lower in math and reading in 4th and 8th grade. And this was taken 5 years after the law was put in effect. What about increased accountability of schools? This sounds like a great thing, that we are holding our teachers and our schools more responsible. But what about parental involvement? It seems unfair to base our student success solely off of how the school and the teachers teach. And how do we measure this success? By state standardized tests that every student must take in the same condition. So that means that even our students that are on 504 plans and individual education plans, otherwise known as IEPs, must take the same test after they were already told that they required a different course load. This is essentially dumbing down our children. With teachers having to teach only what is on the standardized test so they can actually pass the standardized test, that's the only thing that they're learning is how to pass the test. And according to usnews.com, higher standardized test scores does not translate to better cognition. As I mentioned earlier, even students who are on a 504 plan and IEPs are taking these same tests, and schools will be punished if they fail to meet the satisfactory test score, or AYP, adequate yearly progress. As you can see from this is a score drop from the SATs. This is the biggest drop that they've had in 31 years. This data was from 2006, and you can see that the boys and girls math and reading was significantly lower. That's proving that we're not teaching what we need to be knowing, just how to pass the state standardized test. One of the consequences for failing to meet your AYP, or adequate yearly progress, is to have 20% of your funding reallocated for tutoring. It seems silly to me to have these students get on a 504 or IEP plan to help them, and then tell them that they have to have tutoring because they didn't make a satisfactory score. After all, even Albert Einstein said, "Everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid." So what can we do to improve upon this law that was passed with the best intentions? Some changes are already in effect in 13 states, including Oklahoma. One of the law requirements was that 100% of students had to reach proficiency in math and reading. Under the Obama administration, they had created a waiver, and if your state was granted this waiver, then you would have more flexibility as long as the states agreed to set higher and more honest standards. The new standards that were set forth by Obama include adopting college and career readiness standards, evaluation partially based on student achievement, and differentiated accountability that gives more support to low-achieving schools. This is a start in a long process to change some of the law's failings. Students are not all the same, should not all be treated the same, and should not all be tested the same. And after all, let's not forget, we take the real joy out of learning when we're constantly pressuring a student to have fun and learn, but to relax when everybody else is riding on them to take care of the school.